Resume. All right, so hello, Julie.
Hi.
We've got a new member tonight, so it's really lovely to have you with us. So I think it's exciting. We're going to be using ChatGPT tonight. And what I thought that we'd do is, I'm really following on from a couple of comments. Trina, you're here today, aren't you? So you've put a couple of comments up, and I thought, well, I think it's something that everybody kind of thinks of or says. And I think it's really good to maybe go through some of that, and not only go through it, but show you some systems for improving all of that. So I'm free living here, ad libbing, but you were saying that you'd had 2,000 views on your last reel.
Yeah.
You didn't sound like you were really happy with the results from it, but you've got 2,000 views. Do you know, if I had 2,000 views on a reel that I'd put up, I'd be leaping up and down with excitement, thinking, yeah, I got my company in front of 2,000 people. But
do you know what it was though, Sarah? I'll explain to you. So when I did the content, so I've been doing later where I put everything on thing. So I've been stressing, I've been putting my post up, doing all that, reading my mission, then taking parts of my mission and making my post reflect on my mission, part of my company. Okay. Yeah. So I put a lot of effort to that. And then I did like one where I took the candle jar, I showed you how to wash it.
Yeah.
Clean it out, and then I put it as a plant pot.
Yes.
Okay. So I thought, okay, that's going to show people like, okay, this is another way to do the candle. Okay. Use the jars up, like instead of whatever, right? Well, I only got like 153 views on this one. Now, even though it's 153, I'm varying between 100 and 200 views. Okay, so I'm happy with those because of the things, but I haven't got any new followers. Okay, other than one yesterday. But however, the one that I got 2,000 views on, it was a Saturday night, and I thought, well, I haven't done a reel. And what I'd done a clip of just me pouring wax into my molds. That was it. There was no context. There was nothing to it. And then so then I went and I put my hashtags in and I threw it off. And then all of a sudden my phone was going beep, 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 beep. And I was like, why? Of all the effort, the one that I put the effort into, okay, I didn't get the views that I wanted to. Okay. But the one that I just put on where I was just pouring, and I didn't even show you the end result of the like, it wasn't like I showed you that I was making the wax, poured it into the molds, and then showed you the rows. I just left them flat faced into the mold, so all you saw was the back end of the mold. The thing.
Okay, well, let's dissect that a little bit, because that's quite interesting. So what you've hit on is something that's really, really popular, which is ASMR. So there's a whole movement for ASMR where people like watching things being poured or just stirred. So if you've got wax, for example, that's melted and you're adding mica into it and it goes all shimmery, and you can record that, people will watch that for hours. It's super, super popular. Same pouring soap into molds. People absolutely love it. Even just stick blending the oils and the lye together. That can be an entire reel on itself, and you don't have to talk through it and explain anything. Subtitles, closed captions are actually better, because huge numbers of people, when they're watching reels, don't have sound on. A lot of them watch them when they're at work.
Like
so
me.
They don't have sound on. So you just put captions up, and they can be just really, really short, simple captions. But if you see that people like watching you pour your candles, use that, put them up in that way, but always, always finish with a finished product so that they can see what they could buy from you.
Yeah.
And in the call to action section, make sure that you give them a proper call to action. So that could be that you want them to follow you. It could be that you want them to, that they can buy here, but make sure that there's a call to action. because there's no point having 2,000 views and not telling them what to do, because now they don't know what the product was because there's no finished item. So there's like, oh, this is lovely. And then they're gone. Whereas this is lovely. Oh, and I can buy that. That looks amazing. So just a quick flip, and maybe use, if you're doing those types of videos, then use the hashtag ASMR.
Oh, it's ASMR.
ASMR, yeah.
ASMR.
And then people who are interested in ASMR, it will pop up on more people's feeds. And if they go to the ASMR hashtag, yours will be in that section and you'll get seen by more people. But one thing I wanted to talk about before we move forward with actually prompting is, I think sometimes we get frustrated when maybe we think that it's not moving fast enough. We'll be like, well, I've been doing this now for 4 weeks or 6 weeks. But you've got to think of it in context of how many times people actually need to see you to be able to make a decision and start with that know, like, and trust to actually start making a purchase. And that's what the whole of tonight's training is about, is showing you things to put in place into your posts that help to move that needle a little bit. So I like to think of this. I saw this recently and it just made me think, oh my God, that's the best way to describe it to people, because it does feel like you're just hammering on a rock. Well, think about, even to this day, actually, I think they still do it this way even now. If you've got a giant boulder and you want to split that down, what do they use? They don't blow it to bits with dynamite and things. They use basic tools. They use metal wedges or wooden wedges and a hammer. Even on a gigantic boulder the size of a house, they still split them with simple tools. And they'll hammer away hundreds, thousands of times and nothing happens. But it just takes that one magical hit and the whole rock just splits open into two. Just that one extra one. And I think that social media and your marketing is exactly the same way. You have to keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it. And you might feel that no one's looking and that no one's paying attention because you're not getting comments. You know, people aren't writing going, oh my God, that reel just blew my mind. It was amazing. How did you do that? No one's going to do that. They're busy. They've got lives to lead. But you are getting in front of these people. You're creating these little touch points. And every single time that you get in front of those people, it's like a familiar face showing up in front of them. They're like, oh yeah, oh yeah. And then one day, instead of just scrolling on by it or sometimes liking it, they'll actually click onto your profile and they'll start looking at some of the other things. They'll take it to that next level. They might write you a comment. They might click through to your website and have a look at the product. And they might still not buy. But the more times that you show up, the more you're getting into their mind and they're starting to recognize your brand. So it isn't going to be something ever that's just one and done. Ever. You've got to keep showing up over and over and over again. And that's why I want you to really concentrate on repurposing content so you don't feel stressed out having to take 1,000 new photos for the next month. It's just not needed. You've already got tons of things already. And when you're making your products, set a little tripod up at the side and just keep stopping and taking shots all of the time. So you've got a big library of content that you can use and repurpose. And if you've used it one way once, flip it the next time and then zoom in on another one so you're looking at a different part of it in a totally different way. You can use that one photo in a ton of different ways. You really can. Put stickers on it and do all of the things. You know, in Canva, you can use all of the little elements where it kind of flips in or it moves in slowly or it zooms or pans or all of these different things, and they all give different looks to the same static photo for you. So it's a lot of fun. Did you like the analogy of the splitting the stone?
Yeah, that made a lot of sense when you're chiseling it. You do see some kind of like when you're doing it all the time. The whole thing is you do see like the needle just sort of go this way and that way. I just find that you put a lot of effort in it, and then at the end of the week, you sort of go up and then you come back down going, and
Yeah,
I gotta start all over again and do the same thing.
you
Do you
do.
see what I'm saying? And
But you're at the moment, the way that you're doing it is you're having to sit down and you're having to purposefully create.
mm,
I want you eventually to switch that so that your content is created whilst you're actually just making the products, or whilst you're wrapping the products, or while you're posting the products, or as you're walking to the post office. So you're not having to take extra time really out of your normal day. You can literally put your camera on and hold it and talk to them, and then flip the camera around so it's looking at the thing. And it's all part of that rather than you having to do it separately. What people want is a connection to you.
mm,
They can buy a product anywhere. They're not looking for a commodity. They're looking for a connection. They're looking for a real person that they can understand and connect with. So the more that you put yourself into it in some way or another, the more you'll start to grow. Have you all tried looking for someone on Facebook or someone on Instagram or TikTok if you're doing TikTok? I'm not a TikToker. But have you got a company that you aspire to be, someone that you aspire to be able to produce that kind of content or get to that type of style? I would really suggest that you start looking for some. Just, do some searches, go to some of the hashtags that you would use in Instagram or Facebook and start looking at some of the companies, and then look at their images, look at their reels, and the ones that you really, really connect with, start following a few of them and just start looking at what numbers are they getting. You can scroll right back to when they started and you'll see that when they started out, their content was absolutely shite.
yeah.
Everybody starts the same way. You're not going to be Estee Lauder in your first month. It's just not going to happen. But once you actually start doing some research and you start looking, you can easily start to see which types of content do better for other people. What kind of styled shots do better for other people? What are they doing that's making people sit up and take notice? Could you do something similar for your brand or a particular product that you're doing? And once you start kind of pulling all of that together, you'll know. And are you all using your trackers and actually looking at your insights and writing your numbers down?
Yeah.
Are you seeing that they are going up?
Yeah. I do mine monthly, so I do a planner, and then I put from when I started to the last month. So I had February against March, and then I had March against April, and from February it went up, and then from March to April it really went up. But that's when I got more consistent because I was finding it was hard working and doing coming back from work and going, okay, I've got to do a post. So I joined later. It's fabulous because then you can do, and later now can do carousels and reels. So I just put them all on there and I schedule it. And I keep thinking, the funny thing about it is my boss is on my Instagram, and I thought, oh, I can't wait until she pulls me up saying you're not supposed to be on your phone. Not. It's all scheduled because it notifies you. But I found when I did that, I could put like 2 posts on, and I could even do a story. And I find a story difficult because you're supposed to do it like behind the screens, talking to them. But I find if I do it talking to the screen while like being on a video, I'm better with that. So I just video my stories.
But in time, you will get so much more confident, and you'll literally just pick the phone up and just talk and just say, really, really busy weekend and packing all of the orders now. And then you'll flick your screen around and let them see that, you packing the orders. It doesn't have to be super long or anything like that. It's just little touch points, helping them understand who you are as a person. Do they get you? Do they not get you? You never, ever are going to appeal to everybody. We're not looking for that. We're looking for the people who love the things that you love. So if you're on a walk with your dog in the morning, that's a little moment. You can put that up there. Show them the area that you live in, you know, the scenery, what you like doing. That's a connection point. And it takes nothing. You've got your phone right with you with your dog, and you're just walking along, telling them what you're going to do that day. So that could be the whole thing for that day.
Yeah, that's
just
cool.
little tiny touch points. And honestly, I think as we move forward with more and more AI systems, it's these little human touches that actually really help your brand stand out. The AI will help refine everything and keep all of your brand voice going, etc. But you still want the you in your business. It's really important. So today I thought that we would have a look, because there are several things that you need to do. Social media is one of the things, but just blindly putting anything up there with no context is not going to get you the best results. And you've already started on this road, and you're starting to be a lot more consistent, and you're getting much more familiar with the tools, which is fantastic. But what if you're not making as many sales as you want to make, or you want to be able to increase that? How can we move that needle a little bit and start creating more conversions, conversations, both really? Well, there are some proven strategies that you can use that will help you overcome some of the lack of sales. So if you're going to be putting the time into creating your social media posts, it kind of makes sense to put as much into them that's going to help you convert as possible. And there are 5 obstacles that potential customers that you have need you to I suppose explain or cover for them to be able to feel really, really comfortable and buy from you. So the first person that I learned this from was someone called Zig Ziglar. And some of you, I'm sure, will have heard of Zig Ziglar, some may not. But he was a famous, whether you call him a salesman or a marketer, I don't know, but he was also a motivational speaker, and he was brilliant. Have a look at some of his work. He's got some amazing stuff out there. But he believed that to make a sale, you had to overcome 5 obstacles in the buyer's mind. And those were no need, no money, no hurry, no trust, and no desire. Now, many, many people have taken these and given different names to them, but basically it's the same framework that's still used today in a lot of marketing. And tonight I thought we'd identify and address some of these underlying beliefs, because those could be contributing to some of your customers not converting into actual sales. Now, if you're not going to put a call to action up on your posts, it's still not going to help. It might help a little bit, but you've got to also have a call to action there. Give people a clear direction as to what you want them to do once they've read that post, whether it's a reel, a story, an image, whatever it is. You need to have some kind of call to action, because if you put up something that's lovely and then no one's following you and no one's buying from you, you're like, well, no one liked it. Well, they probably did, but you didn't tell them to like it. You didn't tell them to follow you. You didn't tell them to click to buy it. You didn't give them anything to do. So they looked at it and they left. So remember that one step, your final check before you post it. Always make sure you've got some relevant hashtags, but what call to action are you actually giving them? What do you want them to do next? That could be, if you're at a live event, that could be to come and see you at the event. And then if they couldn't come to the event, you might have a coupon code so that they can actually purchase the product you're talking about online. So there's lots of ways, but always, always double check you've got some kind of call to action. So we're going to use, well, I'm going to show you the 5 beliefs. I'm putting together a guide for you as well that's got the prompts that we're going to use. And also I've put together some charts with absolutely tons, but I've put it in a really easy to understand way. I'll show you. Super, super easy way for you to follow. And let me just go change my view actually. Just put it on speaker view. And there we go. All right, so so I've got these charts that I've put together, but I haven't been able to put them into like a proper handout or anything yet. So I'm hoping that tomorrow I can get that done. It's just all in Word at the moment and it doesn't look pretty or anything. So I'm going to try and pretty it up. I just can't spend a lot of time sitting at the computer, so I'm having to do it in stages. But I will honestly, I will really, really try and get that finished so that you can kind of take it forward, because I want you to have that. But by using this system with your social media marketing, you can connect to those buyers on a much, much deeper level. We're going to be building that level of trust with them. And ultimately, hopefully, you're going to get the sales that you deserve, because you do deserve them. You've got beautiful products, you put the time in, and if you keep doing this and you become more consistent and you keep showing up, you will win. And the more it grows, the more people you get in your ecosystem, the faster it grows. So at the beginning, it's much, much slower because there's a really tiny pool that it's putting your products out to. But as you start growing, it's like a snowball effect and you'll gather more and more much, much quicker. So I'm kind of excited for that for you as well. So what I want to do is to have a little bit of a look at the 5 areas, or the 5 elements that you need to put in there. And so the first one, I kind of change it a little bit. So it's why me, and then there's why now, why not, why trust, and why change. So I've changed them a little bit for the industry that you're in. And they fit those 5 kind of key pillars. And for each objection or problem that people have, their beliefs, Molly Mahoney, someone that I've followed for several years now, she has a system that she calls the tree of beliefs, and it's basically on the same Zig Ziglar system, but she's given her own unique names to it as well. And you'll get it as soon as you kind of see what we're talking about. You'll see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen. Let me bring up a document where I've got 3 in here. Share screen. Get rid of that. And we'll make this one bigger. Don't look at my desktop. I've got 6 million things. It's an absolute... Everyone's been on while I've not been here. So it's just, when you come in and I couldn't even get into all my things. All of the passwords are not on my automatic settings. I was like, oh God, I can't deal with this. But anyway, so here are 3 examples of how a maker, let's call it a maker, because we've got chocolatiers, we've got jewelry people, we've got all sorts of different people, candle makers, soap makers, whoever you are and whatever you're doing. But I've got 3 here that are soap related. So one objection that people may have is that the soap is too expensive. And I'm sure you've heard this all of the time, oh, I can buy a bar for 50p. Well, that's great. That's not your buyer. If they can't see and understand the difference, you can try and educate them, but some people you're never going to change. So that might be their objection. So when you're putting a social media post together, you need to highlight all of the elements that make your soap completely different to a generic mass manufactured product. So it's a high quality, it's using natural ingredients. You can talk about how they provide value to the customer. You can share testimonials from customers. And I think in one of these sessions, we're actually going to do a whole thing about testimonials, because it's really, really helpful, I think, for you to know how to approach people in a non-sleazy way and use them, and even repurpose those in different places and different ways too. Would you be interested in learning about testimonials?
Yeah.
Using testimonials. Okay, cool. We'll definitely add that one in. Next month, as a heads up, I'm thinking about showing you how to use gamification and contests, because adding fun into your things is the best way to engage people. So I think it would be a lot of fun to kind of show you some things that you can do with contests, games, all sorts of things like that. So yeah, so that's what we're going to do next month. So yep, some people will share before and afters, some will share photos of your products in use, not naked in the shower, but you get my drift. I've never had anyone send me a naked photo in their shower, but I'm sure someone's had one. And another one could be a buying belief. So they don't know if they can trust your company. Maybe they've been buying from someone else for a long, long period of time. And, they've never used your product before. They're not sure how that product would be, whether it would suit their skin. A lot of people believe that they have sensitive skin and they're really precious about what they use. So you've got to overcome these barriers, or they're never going to actually buy from you. So if you had a testimonial about, from somebody where they'd said that they had, sensitive skin or a delicate skin or a problematic skin, and it had really helped them, or they absolutely loved it, someone else that maybe had that thought in their head will be thinking, oh, actually, maybe that would work for me. And you see this over and over and over when people read those testimonials. They're like, oh, actually, she's using it for whoever, and it worked for them. I'm going to give it a go. So you can use social media to showcase your expertise, your passion, and connect with them. Talk to them about the processes, talk to them about you, and just really share as much as you can. We're not talking about what you've had for tea, although I know some people that do, and it works really well for them, but it's not like a whole story. It's a tiny snippet in and amongst other bits and pieces. And again, it's those little personal touches. Something here that you could absolutely do, highlight any certifications, any awards that you've won. All of that helps to build credibility and trust for your brand. So you could talk to them about your safety assessments, not in depth, but you could talk about the fact that, there's quite a lengthy process to go through, and quite a rigorous process to actually be able to legally sell the products, to make sure that they're safe for the public. People probably don't know that. We assume they know that, but they don't. So just telling, little stories like this really, really help. And then trust indicators. So these are all similar things. So you can talk about customer satisfaction, transparency, commitments to certain things. If you're using organic or fair trade or eco products, whatever it is, buying locally, the fact that you might use a local printing company because you want to support local businesses, anything you do with charities, all of that kind of comes in here. So this could be your ethics, your sustainability, anything at all. Or you could even add in a Q&A. So if people have actually, especially as you get busier and your social media channel grows, you'll get questions in, and you can bundle those together, package them together, and then a whole post can be about Q&A. And in fact, it's a really, really good thing in your reels. You can actually put questions up, this or that. and it's a little poll system, and people click on them. Those little polls get tons of engagement. So you could look at doing those. And quite often you can do 2 or 3 of them straight after each other, and they'll just click through them all. And they're giving you feedback. They're giving you information about what it is that they like. But they're then in their mind thinking, oh, so let's say that you had 2 names or 2 fragrances that you were thinking of using. You could put that in the poll. And then when that actually comes out, you can say, oh, we did this here. We're launching that product now. And you can give sneak peeks all of the way through. So I did one. I don't know if Jill's here today. I don't think she is, actually. She might be. I can't see everybody. But anyway, I pick on little lanterns because I remember the name instantly. And that's a little pointer, isn't it? I just remember the name off the top of my head. So I did one, and I thought, what can I make up? So she doesn't, well, as far as I know, she doesn't do this candle, but I just made one up. And I thought, well, let's design a new product for this particular candle company. And I decided to call it Spring Sorceress, which I thought was a really nice name, actually. And I looked at why me and why now. Well, I went through several of them, actually. But the why me for this particular product, they might be thinking to themselves, well, why should I buy that candle from that company when I can buy, cheaper versions from the store? So you need to think about what can we do to shift that objection into a positive, because they've got the belief that, well, I could buy this from Tesco's, so why should I buy from them? And unless you address that, you're not going to convert them at all. So to address it, you can create a social media post that talks to the why me belief, but also talks about the candle. So we can talk about the unique benefits of it. If you're using natural ingredients or plant waxes, for example, you can feature that, the eco-friendliness, but you could also talk about the fragrance itself. If you've already got customer testimonials, you could use those. And I've put a few of these together. But what I want to do is Okay, so here are some that we've actually done. So we've put this into ChatGPT, and what it's come out with, let me see if I can. So this is the first one, the why me, and I'll show you how we actually put it into ChatGPT. But the business can use social media posts, and this was a post. So it said, experience the magic of the season with our new Spring Sorceress candle. Made with plant wax or plant-based wax and our unique fragrance blend, it's the perfect addition to your springtime routine. Don't settle for a generic candle from the store. Try our enchanting creation and see the difference for yourself. Now, I'd probably change the tags into something more relevant. I'd do some research and put specific tags in there. But actually, if you think about the post, it's addressing all of their concerns. It's all of the things that you might put into a normal post, but it's specifically talking to them and the concerns that they have. So it's just twisting your normal posts, but to address specific issues. So another one is a time-limited offer. Get 10% off your purchase with our Spring Sorceress candle. With its eco-friendly ingredients and captivating scent, it's the perfect way to celebrate the new season. Plus, with its longer lifespan, it's a great investment in your home's atmosphere. Don't miss out on this offer. So if we dissect this, we start with an offer to get them interested. Oh, it's time-limited. They're getting money off. And we're saying what it is. But then we straight away go into the benefits of it. So we're looking at the things that in their mind, they're like, well, why me? Why should I get this? How does it matter to me? What is the benefit? Well, it's eco-friendly ingredients. It's got a lovely captivating scent. it's a great way to celebrate. So now they've got 3 different things that help to alleviate that. And then at the end, don't miss out on this offer. So we've got a call to action. You could put an offer code or a link in there through to the product. And instead of you just saying that 10% off on this candle, you're now addressing specific concerns that they have to transform each of these. So another one is curious about our spring sorceress candle, but unsure if it's worth the investment. So you're out front coming up with the thing that might be in their mind. You're telling them, oh, that might be a concern that you have. Even if they didn't have that concern, they read that and they're like, oh, actually, yeah. So let us put your mind at ease with our plant-based wax. Our plant-based wax ensures a clean burn and longer lifespan, and our unique fragrance blend will transport you to a magical spring wonderland. And then plus with satisfied customer reviews and testimonials, you can trust our candle is the real deal. So again, they're like, well, I'm not really sure about this. So you put the testimonials in front of them. So you're telling them it's worth the investment. You're giving them all of the benefits of the candle and why it's actually beneficial, and alleviating any concerns they have on that front, and then showing them the testimonials to back up what you're saying. Do you see how it all kind of starts coming together? Rather than, here's my new candle with 10% off. But you haven't given them any of the things that address their concerns. So we're kind of taking it onto the next level now and really starting to dial in to just move that needle in your business. So I put together 5 examples of Facebook posts for a soap company on the Why Me. So whatever your soap company is, we believe that natural ingredients make a difference in your skincare routine. That's why we only use the finest plant-based oils and butters to create soap that's gentle and nourishing on your skin. Our customers rave about the difference that they see in their skin's appearance and health after using our soap. Try it for yourself and see why we're the natural choice for soap. Or handmade soap, I'd probably put in there, or artisan soap or whatever. But it's not just vanilla. It's really talking to specific things that they have as a concern. So handmade soap isn't just a luxury, it's a labor of love. Our soap maker has so you could put, I have over 12 or 10 years or whatever it is. You could make, rather than our soap maker, I would personalize that and make it you, because you're talking to them personally. Has over 10 years of experience in crafting high quality natural soap that's effective and gentle for skin types. Each bar is made with care and attention to detail, using traditional soap making techniques that preserve the integrity of the natural ingredients. And we're proud to offer a handmade soap that's truly made with love. So again, you're not just saying that you're passionate about soap making and you started a soap business. You're giving them specific reasons and helping to alleviate some of the, the negative thoughts that they might have about, well, can I trust them? Is this for me? Etc., etc. Is it worth the money? So I've done all of those for you. And I've done loads of different styles addressing all of the different 5 points for you. So you've got all of those. But then what I've also done is I've created these. So these are tables. This one is too big to go on a page, so it's 2 pages. So this is a table with objections for topics for a candle company that you can use in your social media post. And then I've put it into the 5 columns. So for each one of these beliefs, it shows you which of the 5 that you could actually cover for that particular belief or statement that might be in their mind. So if you look at the effectiveness of handmade candles, you could do a post on the why not, the why now, or the why trust in your brand. So that same thought process could actually turn into several different posts, not just one. And you could actually take that and roll that out through the whole week, just on that one thing. You making it, you know, the behind the scenes, the offer that you're doing, and then the why not, why now, and why the trust, and build that into the whole week. There's loads of them here. If you actually looked at each one and all of the different things, I think there's nearly 70 for each of these that I've done. So there's lots to go at, but I'm going to show you how to use ChatGPT today to create loads more that might be more specific to your brand as well. And then I've done them for the soap makers. So there's tons there for all of you soap makers. And then I've done it for, see, it's in no kind of proper order. I've got to sort all of this out. I've done it for a jewelry seller. I know we've got someone who sells beautiful jewelry. I didn't do one, Jackie, I do apologize if you're listening. I didn't do one for chocolatier. But I know that you can convert it. And if you get stuck, just reach out to me. And then I've done one for a business coach as well. So if you're if you're a coach of some kind, you could swap all of these around and create something for coaching too. So the first thing that I did was to use a prompt in ChatGPT, and I said, please write a Facebook post using the tree of belief. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to just copy it, and I'm going to go into ChatGPT, she says. Let's move this bar out of the way. Okay, so I'm in ChatGPT. So I'm going to go all the way to the bottom, and I'm going to just pop that prompt into ChatGPT. If you've not used ChatGPT before, please go back and have a look at the video where we go through and we teach you how to use ChatGPT. But once you've signed up and got your free account, actually, you're literally just going to be typing questions into this little box at the bottom, or asking it for lists or information or posts or anything. So really, it's questions and answers. So you're asking it something, looking at its response, and then asking it more questions and getting another response, and then asking it to make or do a task for you. So we've put, please write, see if I can scroll up. Please write a Facebook post using the tree of belief system for the objection or belief of the environmental impacts of candles for my company, and whatever your name is. Well, let's change this. So who's got a soap company? Okay, Sandra, what's the company called? What's your company?
Yeah, sorry, Respect Soaps.
I'm going to put company in there just so it understands that. Oh, I don't need to, it already says that at the beginning. So so what is an objection or belief that you want to address? Is it the environmental impact? Is it, give me something that is a pain point or concern?
It's when people won't try the sensitive range I do, because they're very ginger about actually using the sensitive range.
Okay, so of soap being suitable for a sensitive skin. Yeah. We'll leave it like that. We can always tweak it. This post, so that's what we want them to actually put in. We've told them what we want. We want a Facebook post. If you were doing an Instagram post or a reel script or something like that, you just change that to what you actually want, a video script, anything, it will do it for you. And then we've put that we're going to be using the tree of belief system. And then what the objection is, what your company is. And then I've put some additional context in there because I want to make sure it understands what I want from it, but we can refine it if it's not anyway. But I've put this post will be aimed at dispelling the why change belief. And then ask any questions that will help you produce the best content. Now, you don't have to put that last bit in, but if it's not sure on anything, having that little line in there will mean that it will actually come back and it will ask you specific questions about your company or your product. So if it needs more input, it will come back if you put that little line in there. And it just makes it so much better for you getting the right content. So then all we do is we click on this little return button and it's going to start typing. It says, sure, here's a Facebook post that uses the tree of belief system to dispel why change belief for Respect soaps. Brilliant. Now, if you don't like hello, everyone, you could just put hi or whatever you normally start your posts with. Remember, you need to change this around a little bit so it sounds like you and not like some kind of robot. So speak and make the words fit how you would speak. We know that switching to a new soap can be daunting, especially if you have a sensitive skin, but we want to assure you that Respect soaps, we've got you covered. We understand that traditional soaps can be harsh and irritating, and that's why we've created a line of soaps specially formulated for sensitive skins. Our soap is free of harsh chemicals, fragrances, and dyes, and is gentle enough for even the most delicate skins. But we know that sometimes it's hard to break old habits and try something new. And that's why we're offering a free sample of our sensitive skin soap to anyone who wants to give it a try. We're confident that the way that you'll love it, the way it makes your skin feel, and we're here to answer any questions and concerns that you have along the way. So why not take this opportunity to make a change and switch to a soap that truly respects your skin? We believe that everyone deserves to feel comfortable in their own skin, and we're committed to help you achieve that. Now that sounds really good, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. And you could tweak that in any way that you wanted. So if you wanted it differently and you wanted to talk about specific ingredients that you're using in there to achieve this, you could. You could even put, as a spin-off to this, if you were concentrating all week and sensitive skins were your topic for that week, I'd do a whole post on the fact that your products have gone through all of the safety assessment process and that they're fully certified, because these people are nervous. They're unsure of your brand. So the more that you can alleviate those concerns, the further that you're going to get. Now, you might not want to give them a full free sample. It doesn't have to be a massive sample, but you could tie this into an event that you're at or going to be at, and that if they come along, you'll give them a free sample of that soap. So then you're doing a 2-in-1 and you're getting them actually coming to the event.
That's genius.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you're not worrying about postage and packing and full-size bars. Now you did business in a box, didn't you, Sandra?
No, I did the week one.
Long one. Okay.
Yeah.
So do you know how to make sampler cards?
No.
Okay. So you can print your own sampler cards on card and put 2 little vertical slits on the card, and then you can actually put your soap. It just threads into the 2 little slits, and you can put the blurb about the soap and a little bit about it, your contact details and the sample there. Or you can make it literally like a card where it's got, nice logo on the front, some information inside, and then this piece of soap inside it, and make them available to people.
I've got loads of end cuts I could do that with.
Exactly.
Loads and loads.
use them. Plus, they're nice to pop into people's, or when they bought something from you at a live event, pop one of those into the bag, and now they've got a lovely freebie with your contact details, with some information about that particular soap.
Yep.
So definitely, and have a look on Pinterest as well for like soap sample cards or something. There might be some templates on there that you can get some inspiration from.
Brilliant, thank you.
Okay, so did you like that one?
Yes.
Okay, I'll email it to you. Or actually,
Thank you very much.
I'll get Sean emailing it to you. All right, let me just go back to here because I need to find it. I've got a prompt that I want you to try out as well, to be able to just produce loads of these. So that list I've got, that really, really long list, those tables, not that one. Do you know what? The easiest way is to just go into ChatGPT and find it. Oh, it's at the top here. So it was just, please write a Facebook post using that one there. If we literally take this prompt and we plug that into the bottom again and post it in, let's pick another person. Who else wants to give me what their business is and a belief that people might have, or a concern that people might have? Anyone want to go? Well, you're very shy tonight.
I'll go.
Okay, Trina.
Okay, so my candle's small and expensive.
So the belief is
that they could get more
that the
from a bigger
candle
candle. Yeah.
is smaller and more expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Than
a store-bought one.
Let's put store-bought. It's better than what I was putting in. Store-bought options. Okay. And what's your company?
Aroma Rose.
Is that one word or two?
One word.
Okay.
No, 2 words, sorry.
2 words. Okay. Okay, so I didn't put candle, I put some weird word, but ChatGPT is clever and it will probably know that we mean candle. So let's have a look. It did. Look at that. Hello, candle lovers. Now, you might not want to put hello, candle lovers. You can change that. But whatever you want to put. We know that sometimes it can be hard to justify spending a little extra on a candle, especially when there are so many cheap options out there. But we want to take a moment to explain why our candles are worth the investment. At Aroma Rose, we're committed to using only the highest quality ingredients in our candles. Our wax is made from natural, sustainable sources, and we use premium fragrance oils that are free from harmful chemicals and phthalates. We'll make sure that that's obviously true. But you can swap that last bit to whatever, if you think, yeah, that's not quite me, you can change that out for something that you would say.
But I don't think, because the thing is, I don't think a lot of people know like phthalates and chemicals. They just know chemicals. Do you see what I'm saying?
Some really do. So phthalates really came into the forefront of the news about more than 15 years ago. God. We were the first company in the UK to bring out a range of phthalate-free fragrances for soap makers.
Really?
It was really, really hard to have them made. The fragrance manufacturers wouldn't even tell you whether they contained phthalates at the time, and it took us ages to get a range produced. And the reason that we did it is because we knew that the market was changing and it was going to be a big thing. And it all came to a big head when they discovered that phthalates were in the plastics being used in baby bottles and babies' dummies. And all of a sudden,
Oh.
everyone was into phthalates and understanding what phthalates were. And so they didn't want phthalates in anything then.
I didn't know that.
So
I didn't know that.
it takes, sometimes it's something completely unrelated that brings something into the spotlight, and then you can kind of start telling the stories about it. But although a lot of people might still not really understand that they're in there or what they are, you can use some of your posts to educate people about things and why you use phthalate free and what that means.
Yeah.
And then other people will know what they are, and you're already alleviating that issue by posting about it.
Okay.
But then it goes on, but we know that sometimes it can be hard to see the value in smaller, more expensive candle. But we want to remind you that our candles are designed to burn longer and cleaner. I would put the many store-bought options.
Yeah.
Because our wax is made from natural sources, it burns slower and releases fragrance more easily, which means you'll get more hours of enjoyment for each candle. And of course, we can't forget about the ambience that a high quality candle can create. Our candles are carefully crafted to provide a warm, inviting glow that will fill your home with a beautiful natural scent. So why not treat yourself to a little luxury and invest in a candle you can truly enjoy? I mean, we didn't really give it any context there at all. We could have put some real context about the product and what you think the positives of your company are, or that particular candle are. We didn't even put them in, and it's still given us something that we can really work with. Few tweaks, and you've got something that absolutely you can use that alleviates a lot of things. Now, if you think, oh my God, that's huge, this would be okay for a Facebook post, but you couldn't use that for Instagram.
No.
But we can just go in and we can say, rewrite in a shorter form for an Instagram story. Boom, and it's done.
Oh, very good.
Yeah. And then we can say, rewrite the above longer text for an Instagram reel. Oh no, let's put, yeah. Let's put video text. Longer text for an Instagram reel video text. So you might want to actually do, there you go. So you're just going to literally, you can put this in as it is, as a text, but invest in a candle that's worth the extra cost. I can't get my teeth in. Our high quality candles provide hours of enjoyment and commitment to natural, sustainable ingredients, meaning you can feel great about your purchase. So why not treat yourself to a little luxury and invest in a candle that you can truly enjoy? And you can play around with that. So let's say that we want that in a little bit of a different voice. So I'm going to put rewrite in a chatty way. Yeah, so you can change the tone of it as well. You might want it in a friendly, you might want it in chatty, you might want it in, let's do it, rewrite in a fun and excited tone. And it will do it over and over and over.
Yeah.
So we can completely change the style. If you're someone who's hyper and on the go and full of life and bubbles and all of the things, put that energy into your posts. If you're someone who's, you know, really kind of make it fit your vibe, but you don't want boring. So even if you're more quiet and laid back, put some energy into it, because when it comes through in videos, it already flattens everything and you're going to just sound really, really monotone. So I hope that you have a lot of fun with this. Have we got any questions about this? Did you all understand what I was doing there? I'll
Mm.
send through, I promise tomorrow, my main goal is to finish that. So you've got a proper handout, and I'll put it into the file section of the Facebook page with the prompts and all of the different examples and the tables as well. So you can go to town and you can see what I use to actually get the initial lists, what I use to get all of the different elements. And then you can kind of put all of that together. You should be able to generate really much more targeted posts that help to alleviate some of these concerns that people have, and just start moving that needle a little bit on engagement and sales, really building that trust within the business and in your products too. So have you enjoyed today?
Yeah.
Good. So this whole month I'll be putting different bits and pieces up based around this for you, and they'll all build. I'll try and show you a ton of different examples of things that you can do that all kind of lead off of these 5 pillars. So maybe the next time that you start putting content together, look at those 5 things, and then whatever you were going to put it into ChatGPT and think, well, how can I turn that into something that actually speaks to one of these 5 elements? And remember that to really change people's perspectives and turn them into buyers, you have to make sure that you've addressed all 5 of those elements, and you can't do them all in one post. So think about a topic and then make sure that over the week you cover all 5 of those in some way and start building that in as well. And it's really about just changing the way that you talk about things. When you're speaking and talking about things, you're just changing the wording slightly or the inflection slightly to address some of the concerns that they have. So some marketing techniques. Don't forget you can look Zig Ziglar up as well. And I'm going to wish you a really happy evening. Don't forget, if you get stuck on anything, come into the group. I want you to really start using that group, because if you start posting examples of what you're putting together, what you're creating, other people will learn from that too. And then they will post theirs up and you'll learn from them. If everyone hides everything away, it's a small group. It's 30 something people. We can all be helping and learning from each other. We're not an island, we're a team. All right, go and have a wonderful weekend. I hope you have a blast this weekend. I hope it's gorgeous weather, and whether you're indoors watching it on TV or whether you're just out enjoying life, and make it a good one.
Okay, thank you.
You too, Sarah. Bye.
Yes, Sarah.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.